Hey everybody, this is Sunglass Rob from Sport RX, and Oakley has a new PRIZM lens color, yes! And I get to tell you about it, yes! All right, so PRIZM Argon is new for this season. PRIZM Jade has kind of been retired and is going away, and Argon is new and rad, and I actually have looked through both lenses, and you know, I'm a lens snob, I'd be admit to say. I really like looking through the new lens. Jade was one of my all-time favorites, but I do see why Argon is here and Jade is left. So here's kind of what's going on. All these lenses used to be put on a PRIZM Rose lens base, and that color has also kind of been retired with a new one called Garnet. So this is on the Garnet family, the Jade was on the Rose family, so another reason why it's kind of left. And the Argon has more of a blue hue to it, a little bit more of a blue mirror to it than the Jade was more green. Now, when you first, if you get this goggle and you first open it up, the color is not super apparent when you're like looking at the goggle. But once you put it on and the light isn't coming through behind, you can kind of see how the mirror becomes a little bit more alive. Now, looking through this goggle is fantastic. You immediately notice almost like a burst of color, even though you're putting on kind of something dark. That's that PRIZM technology really giving you unbelievable contrast. This lens has a VLT of 14%, visible light transmission of 14%. That's a category 3 snow goggle. So that would be considered like a dark snow goggle. However, because of the PRIZM technology and the way that Oakley's been able to basically manipulate the light spectrum to kind of almost cheat and let you see more and cut out the colors you don't want to see and boost the colors you do want to see, I would say this lens would work really, really well in almost all conditions. I think if it's like the sunniest day in the world and you have sensitive eyes, it might not be dark enough. Or if it's like super overcast, white out, like slating, like you probably shouldn't even be out there anyway, it might not be light enough. But except those two kind of extremes, I would think this lens would work really, really well, like in almost all kind of regular mid conditions. It's pretty amazing how with the PRIZM technology, you get so much contrast even in low light, even though it's like a dark mirrored lens. So I do think this is going to become a really popular lens. I'm really stoked on it. I like the name, I like the color, I like the aesthetics, but looking through it is just unbelievable clarity. Everything pops a little bit, even more than with regular PRIZM, which already popped everything. So I'm really happy about this lens. Speaking of seeing, if you do need to wear prescription, try and think about the Sport RX prescription insert. It's amazing. It's so much better than trying to jam your glasses inside of the goggles. A lot of people wear contacts and are miserable with contacts by the end of the day because of the altitude and the speed and the cold, and they just dry out really fast. Or some people just opt not to see that well, and you don't have to do any of those things. With Sport RX, your vision never has to be your limiting factor. Check out our insert. All right, well, that was a lot to talk about on that Argon. I'm super glad it's out. I'm super glad you're still watching this video. I'd be even more glad if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions about them, put it down in the comments section. If you want to get a pair, check out sportrx.com. Don't forget we can do it in prescription. Check us out on all the social medias. All right, let's pray for snow.